Hey.
Survivor specialist Phil and Alexa are back, and we have the final 11 of Survivor, which is so secondary to Miami winning yesterday. It really is. And, for everybody who's going to be mad that we just talk about Miami immediately, well, we're talking about Miami immediately because that was nuts. And for everybody who just hates on Miami, that was, the craziest thing ever. That was, the greatest feeling. It was so much fun. And, Alexa, you were down there. You were actually at the game, right?
I was, yeah. Sorry, you kind of cut out there. Did you tweet the link?
That's what I'm doing. That's probably why I cut out.
Yeah. So I flew down for the game. Yeah, just to kind of recap the weekend. So they had College Game Day in Miami for the first time since 2002, and first time on campus in school history. And I'm just saying, they had sailboats. They had our dive team. That was the best sales pitch I've ever seen to attend the school. I really wanted to know what it was like on TV because it was popping, actually on campus. And yeah, we were walking out and some ESPN guys asked us if we wanted to get on TV. So anyone who's social media friends with me, you see that I snuck in on a photo with A-Rod. So yeah, we did that, went to the game. It was bananas. That new roof really keeps in the sound. So it was wicked loud. We're up 34-0, and I thought we were going to blow it because I've watched us blow these games hundreds of times before. And we absolutely spanked them. And we're going to ACC championship. We better be top 4 in the college football playoffs. I don't know how we can't. Georgia lost. Notre Dame lost. This is the best possible weekend for Miami. And then on top of that, something that you guys would actually appreciate that isn't about football.
There you go.
I got a text
also Miami related, though.
Yeah, also, yeah, Miami oriented. On Saturday, I got a text from our friend Troy Zan, and I ended up meeting him for lunch today. So Troy Zan and I got to hang out for a couple hours today. We took a couple pictures, so we'll tweet him out. But he says hi. It was awesome to see him. He's still the exact same. It was great to hang out with him. And just to really pour salt on the open wound, we recorded a video and sent it to Phil to make sure he felt really bad about not being there.
Yeah, I got that video. I'm just happy. I got that video from Troy Zan, and I got to send it over to Will and be like, hey, man, look, I'm getting called out by name by Troy Zan. How's that feel? That was about the only good thing. And my one friend who's a huge Troy Zan fan is also a huge Buffalo Bills fan. So that kind of made him – he was like, I wish I could hang out with Troy Zan because if anybody watches football, the Bills lost 47-10 today. So he was having a rough day, and that Troy Zan video really brought him up. But yeah, this was great. This was a cool weekend. I'm glad Alexa got to hang out with Troy Zan. One day I'll be invited. Instead, I'm living on the West Coast. But yeah, that Miami moving up and Survivor moving on to 11 we're finally at jury time. And let's talk this. I'm going to do my power rankings. I'm down 20 to Alexa. So pretty much I didn't even do – I did them, but I didn't even think. I just put every name down as they came to mind, and I'm going to hope that's better than whatever the hell I've been doing all season. Because whatever I've been doing all season has just not been working.
Maybe just letting it naturally come out, just do your gut reaction. So
yeah, exactly. And so my number one, I put Mike because he has an idol. And that was where I was going to put him anyway. I think Mike's doing pretty good. I mean, I like Mike. I think Mike's fun. He's got this idol. He might be in the minority, but I think he's got the best connections to both sides, which is going to be huge moving forward. He's not the biggest threat. I still think people are kind of underestimating him, which is kind of the theme of this season. A lot of the underestimated people are the ones who are kind of making runs here. So yeah, I got Mike at number one, and I'll let you go because I have mine. I'll just let you go.
Yeah, I was about to say this is the first time in a couple of weeks where you have your power rankings done in advance. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, wild.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, you worded it really well. I've docked Mike at number one, mostly because an idol, but also secondary to that, he has an idol and he knows he's on the bottom, and people who are on the bottom know that they need to play it. And he just watched Joe absolutely flailing idol towards Jeff. And he's gonna play this very well. He's gonna play it very smart. Hopefully he won't have to use it because, like we talked about in our recap podcast, there is still that relationship with Lauren and Ben. So hopefully he can make something work, but he's an easy number one for me. And then going down the line, I have Lauren at 2 and Ben at 3. And
hey, so do I.
Yay! When I was making these, I put Dr. Mike at number 1 and I put my bottom 2, my bottom 2 or 3. And I kind of just had to shuffle around the middle guys. But Lauren and Ben, I felt pretty confident about because we got a lot of Ben attention this week. I mean, we saw the two of them not necessarily butting heads, but disagreeing on which path they wanted to go down. And I think we're still going to explore that story a little bit, because I know that Lauren did want to stay with that new Yawa tribe, and Ben didn't want to get rid of Chrissy. I saw a question on YouTube that said if they threw out a name like JP or Ryan or Ashley, would Ben have gone with the Yawa tribe? And I think he actually could have. I think he did a very good job of hiding that he was close with Chrissy, but I think as soon as Chrissy's name was out in the open as a target, that really deterred him from working with them. So I think if they actually stay away from Chrissy, he could go back with them. But either way, Lauren and Ben are in swing votes, and no one's afraid of them. So I have them pretty high up.
Yeah, I have Lauren at 2 and Ben at 3 also. The thing with Lauren is, like, Lauren's so unthreatening to people right now because they're probably looking at her as almost like a Sari, where it's like she could win, but we can get rid of her whenever we want to. Like, no, like if you really think Lauren's going to win, just don't let her get to the final 3. You'll have final 5 and final 4 to vote her out, because from what we've seen so far, Lauren's not really doing too much in the challenges. Granted, we've only seen one individual challenge, but going based off of, even performance in the early challenges, on that first tribe, I mean, with Patrick and, Patrick and Simone go because the Hustlers lost twice. And there's only 3 Hustlers left. So I think Lauren's actually in a really good spot. And then I have Ben. Ben could start to get tricky here because Ben could actually put a target on his back by just being so vocal. And he was very vocal to Lauren about, like, no, we need to do this. We need to do this. We need to do this. And she was like, no, like, let's keep Cole and let's keep Jessica. Like, we said it would be the 5 of us. I could see Lauren turning on Ben at some point and it actually working and Lauren going further than Ben. I just don't think it's going to be this week, because right now I feel like so much attention is just going to be directed at Joe, because it's going to be like, let's get rid of him while we know he doesn't have an idol. And then maybe he finds an idol anyway. But I think that's where a lot of this is going to end up going is towards Joe. So I think that he's so that Ben is going to be okay this week, and he got a really big edit next week. So I wouldn't even be surprised if he somehow went on a win. But it's like right now, I just don't see how Ben is our first juror.
Was there a new preview that came out? Because you said we see a lot of them next week.
Oh, I didn't watch. I didn't.
I didn't. Oh, okay. That's what I thought. Yeah, because I was like, I just saw Chrissy and Cole like mud wrestling. That's what I saw in the preview.
Hey.
Yeah, in a strategic way.
Yeah.
All right, so pretty much after Dr. Michael, Lauren, and Ben was where I started doing all my flip-flopping. Mostly 4 through 7, I kind of shuffled them around a lot. But anyways, I have Ryan at number 4. I was pretty surprised about putting him there. But I think a lot of people have been saying, and I've been noticing this too, Chrissy is running that ship, and she's kicking butt at it. She's at the helm. And Ryan, he's not the one, at least from what we're seeing. I don't think people think that Ryan is as involved as Chrissy is. And on top of that, the healers don't know him. None of the healers had met him until 3 days ago. So they don't really know what's up with him. There's no real threat because they don't know how hard he's playing, these relationships that he's made with Chrissy and JP and Devin. So I think he's in a really good spot, because if they're going to, if they're going to try to go for the head of the snakes number 2, I don't think Ryan is the guy they're going to go for. And I think he's proven savvy enough to be able to make friends with a lot of different types of players. So I think he could probably sweet talk them and stay around for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I have Ryan at 5. I have Desi ahead of him. I don't know why I put Desi there, but Desi's name just came up before Ryan. That's it. Like I said, I don't even know at this point. I put Desi at 4. I'll just kind of like talk about where I actually think they sit in the game. Desi isn't going to go on to win this game. We haven't seen enough of her. Last week she went to immunity and we still don't see anything. Joe or Cole are going to get the votes this week. I don't think Desi will get them. I don't think anybody, even if they're saying the whole thing that just got Jessica booted, that if they know that Cole has the idol, then maybe they try to do it. But I think at this point you can take the shot and try to get rid of Cole or Joe while they have to decide who you're going to play it for. So now there's 3 people that you can play it for. I think you take that shot, try to make it happen. Maybe Ashley and Devin say, you know what, let's get rid of Cole or Joe. We'd rather keep Desi around. We think we can work with Desi. And then Ryan, I put at 5. I think Ryan is in an okay spot. I don't think he's in like a great spot. I mean, he is in the majority alliance. He does have allies, but I just feel like something's going to blow up on him eventually. Like him and Devin look like they're still getting along really well, but how long is that going to last? Lauren doesn't really seem like she's that excited to work with him. I don't know where Ryan's I don't really know where Ryan's going to end up here, but I feel like at some point he's going to get got. Like, it's going to happen. I just don't know when.
And one thing we didn't bring up in the recap, actually, I rewatched the episode. So Devin and Ryan, they meet up again in the woods, and Devin asked like who went home, and Ryan said Allie, and he said, I don't know what the exact phrasing was, but he made it clear that he voted for Allie, and Devin, from the minimal that we saw, seemed perfectly fine with it. So those two are tight. I thought there was going to be a little tension with Ryan voting out Allie, but clearly those two are in it together. And so for Ryan to have two extremely tight, like numbers 1 and 2, that's huge for him.
I got to go back. I got to go all the way back to the Patrick boot again. Like, I have to, because what you just said, though, Devin and Ryan are still super tight, and Devin doesn't seem mad because Allie went home. We don't know what the reasoning Ryan gave him was, but you got to think that when they decided to boot Patrick instead of booting Lauren, that is Devin and Ryan saying to each other, you're my 1, you're my 2, Allie's not. Because we don't care that we're booting Allie's biggest ally in the game, or one of Allie's allies, because we just don't like the person and we'd rather keep Lauren around. I don't think that they were actually as tight with Allie. I think Allie was kind of oblivious to some of it. And I don't think they were as tight with Allie. And I think that was really the first move that kind of showed, like, Allie, you're not their tightest ally, and Devin and Ryan getting right back together, and it really never seeming like it's ever going to be a problem. I think that's very, very telling about how things were really going down on the Hustlers tribe earlier.
Yeah, I think it was Ryan's like merge interview. I think it was in that where he said that he and Allie were not as tight as they were shown to be. So yeah, there we go with that. So for number 5, I put JP, and I don't really know how I feel about that, which is how I feel about most things JP. I have him right down the middle. I don't get why they would get rid of him. I guess they would, because you would get rid of a blind number on the majority tribe. If the healers were going to go from the Heroes and Hustlers alliance is not going to get rid of him. They're not going. He's not going anywhere. He could perfectly an immunity challenge. I don't have much to say about him. I don't see a reason for him to go home right now. I feel like this happens after, like, assuming the healers can pull someone from that alliance, maybe like 2 weeks from now he goes home.
Yeah, I don't really fear for JP too much. I have him down lower, but the thing is, like, JP is somebody that, like, could easily just get like a stray bullet. But because it's the bigger alliance, if Joe and Cole can actually take someone out, they're going to take out the bigger threats. And that bigger threat is Ryan, it's Chrissy, it's whoever they're looking at as the biggest threat, like, right now. And who got the votes last week? It was Chrissy. Chrissy.
Yeah,
so Chrissy.
I don't think that they think Ryan's a threat.
Yeah, so I would say that they're probably going to get rid of Chrissy before they get rid of JP. So, like, I have JP at 7, I have Chrissy at 8, and then my 6 is Ashley, because I still have no idea where to rank Ashley. Like, if Ashley goes this week, I don't really understand why. Like, I guess we'll see in the episode, but I really would just be like, oh, okay, Ashley's gone. Like, she doesn't seem like she's in a position where she's going to go home this week. She seems like she's okay. Devin got a huge episode last week. Maybe that was setting him up to be the merge boot or the jury boot for sure. It's something that could happen. I don't really understand where Ashley would go in this situation, how they would pull it where it's like, Ashley's the one we're going for. Ashley hasn't been threatening. Ashley hasn't really done too much to anybody. So maybe Ashley just keeps on going.
Yeah, I put Ashley at number 6 too, for the exact same reason. I mean, she could be in the best position on the beach on Wednesday. She could be in the worst position. She could easily get hit by a stray bullet. I feel like that could be coming her way, because she doesn't seem to be tight with anyone who's really deep in that alliance, because she and Chrissy don't seem to be super tight other than just your standard ally. So she could be the one that they throw at as like the decoy boot against Chrissy. Yeah, I'm really not sure what to do about her. I hope she's able to, like, get her footing and, like, or at least I hope that we're able to at least, like, see what her game plan is, because I feel like we don't even know. And then for 7, I have Devin, which rhymes, and I don't know. We got a lot. Got a lot of him last week, and he was really, like, rounding the troops. I feel like we're going to see more of that. I think he was really, really anti-healers, and he got what that he wanted on that first boot. So the only thing is he and Lauren seem to have a fairly tight relationship that was kind of alluded to at one point. So he could try to keep Lauren on their side too. But he's a really good example of someone who's very likable. He's proven to be pretty decent in challenges, but I think people are going to start to realize that, oh, he's not this, like, bro-y surfer bro. There is there's like a good amount of strategy behind him, and they could just chop him off as soon as they see that.
Yeah. And I have Devin. I actually have Devin down at 9. So I said Chrissy at 8. I have Devin at 9. My reason for putting Devin at 9 is I think that Devin, he could get like almost like the Sarah Lacina thing where it's like he's almost being too pushy, but he's not actually as tight with as many people as he thinks. Although what we've seen so far, Devin's built some really solid relationships. I just get scared because it was such an uptick for him. But he's built solid relationships with Ashley, who seems like she would go on rocks with him. Ryan seems really excited to be back with him. Lauren seems like she has a good relationship with him. So it seems like Devin's making good inroads. It's just like seen as too threatening because he's so likable, and they got to get rid of him.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. What number are you at?
That was my number 9.
Oh, okay, so I'll go. So my number 8, I have Chrissy, and number 9, I have Desi. And I think this is where we're kind of straying a little bit. So Chrissy I have her like second half because she is the clear threat in the majority alliance. She is the Joe of her alliance. And I'm sure, Chrissy, if you're listening, I know that comparing you to Joe is probably the last thing that you want to hear coming out of my mouth. But it's just that they know it is now not a secret how good Chrissy is at this game. It is not a secret that Chrissy is playing to win. And so I think they're definitely going to throw votes at her. Chrissy's going to be getting a lot of votes for as long as she's in the game, or they're going to be shooting at her allies. Whether she does have that fake idol that she can use, I think that'll actually work very well for her because it is a real idol. But she just has a lot of gunshots going her way, and that makes me really scared for her. And then I have Desi at number 9, and I think we're not getting much of her. She's now proven to be an immunity challenge threat. She does really, really well in challenges. She's on the minority tribe. There's just things are not looking really good for her.
Yeah, I don't really know. I threw Desi at 4 just because I was like I said, my rankings are just a mess at this point. Her position in the game, I don't really know where anybody, I don't know. There's like no guarantee boot here, but I do have Joe at 11 and I do have Cole at 10 because, hey, they seem like somebody should go this week. Like one of them should go this week, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, Cole very well could have gone home like a month ago. Like this Cole boot has been coming for a really long time. And so I think now with Jessica gone, it would be poetic of them to go one after another. And that very well could happen because now he doesn't have anyone who wants to defend him.
Yeah. So which one did you actually put bottom?
Sorry, I put Cole at 10 and Joe at 11.
Okay, so we did the same thing at the bottom.
Yeah. That was a quick one.
I know. Well, now we can do comments. I actually have the comments up from YouTube.
Yeah, I do too.
I know. They actually work this time. There's one that's so funny that we're not going to read, but it's just like
we're not. I had like a whole like rebuttal for that, but okay.
Which one I'm talking about? I don't want to say.
Yeah, I mean, actually, pretty much like just like the long and the short of it is like last year Phil would watch Survivor at work so that I could get to bed at a reasonable hour. And now it is only fair that like I let Phil do his job, and I wake Phil up at 8:00 in the morning to podcast on Sundays. So, don't worry, we both deal with this. We both have early mornings and late nights.
Yeah, I mean, I think we do a pretty good job of balancing.
Yeah, and we're a team. Like Phil is not purposely doing this so that I stay up late.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I mean, that's just people are just like.
Yeah,
they know everything. Everybody knows everything. That's why we talk, because we know everything. So
I also don't think my sarcasm comes through very clearly sometimes.
No, definitely not. I think mine almost comes across as too serious, even though it's always sarcasm. But anyway, yes, participation trophies. I clearly love them. But anyway, let's go to Twitter, because Twitter is, I guess, where we should start.
Okay.
I want to, because we have Matthew here who says, sad I can't watch it live because here in Brazil we're 3 hours ahead of Eastern time tomorrow morning and back to college. Would Chrissy hide her powerless idol under the tribe flag to mislead her tribe mates so they won't look for the real one? That could be really interesting. That could be really cool.
That would be awesome. I didn't even think that. That would be amazing. And for her to just from what we've seen, that'd be an Oscar-worthy performance of her like wrestling Cole for it.
Yeah, I know. That would be so great.
Yeah,
but cool. I really think that that's probably going to be a real idol.
Probably. But thanks for tuning in from Brazil. Our international population is really growing here.
It is. We have a lot of international fans.
Oh, this is an important question. Kaylin Weigel, even though we should ask this maybe 2 months from now. I've never seen Panama or Guatemala, so I missed your rewatch this summer, but was wondering who else would be cast on Survivor Thanksgiving dinner. First of all, those are 2 great seasons. You should absolutely watch them, and then watch our recaps of them.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll answer that question. That question is something that we go into in depth. Some people think that's so dumb. It's so funny.
We probably have like 5 or 6 names that we're pretty confident about, but we should make like a full on cast in the off season about it.
We should.
Mm-hmm.
We have Giovanni as Jessica, a rich man, Jamie from China. I said I wouldn't read that comment, and then I did anyway.
Yeah, guys. Some of these comparisons are just getting ridiculous.
It's like I don't know. I have no idea. Gamer girl, why are people so mad? Yeah, I just Gamer girl, why are people so mad? Actually, did the fake power couple thing leave a bad taste in people's mouths? To me, she's a great underdog player. I feel like I'm probably her biggest fan. I actually think Ashley's okay. I think people are just met on her because we haven't really seen like a player like Ashley.
You just said she's okay.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I think it's just we don't know where we're supposed to land on her. It's really hard, and we haven't seen a player like her in a while.
Yeah, no, I do. I just think it's funny that you're like, she's okay. I don't get why people are mad on her.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I like her. I mean, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. We haven't gotten much of her, and what we have gotten is like, I'm super tight with Devin. I'm super tight with JP. I mean, she clearly does a good job of like forming relationships, but for some reason, she's still always on the bottom. And now with the merge, we don't really know where she stands other than just within the majority alliance. So I would love to hear more from her. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Gamer girl, who do you think will be this season's no vote getter? I'm thinking Joe. I'm assuming this is in the final tribal council.
Final tribal.
I don't know if Joe's going to make it to the final tribal. If he does, I think people would respect his game enough to give him a vote. But I think the clear answer is JP.
Yeah, if JP gets there, it's him. Because if Joe gets there, he had to navigate this game. And I think even though he's loud and he might be obnoxious and Cass might have blocked him on Twitter, I think that I think that it's very telling. Like he gets to the end, it's like, okay, he played a damn good game. Somebody's gonna give him a vote.
Mm-hmm.
Ice X during the merge feast, Chrissy was talking a bit too loud to Ben about reconnecting. Do you think anyone heard her and it could hurt her game? I don't think anybody did hear it because I think we would have seen a confessional about somebody noticing.
Yeah, I think we would have too. Which is why I'm really glad that they showed it, because they're not now. That kind of proves that they're not showing things. They're showing things for more than just like the immediate strategic reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Like they showed that because it's like, oh wow, people actually could have heard her say that.
Yeah.
Giovanni or Oriana. Either way, I think Ben and Lauren are at the bottom. The core of the alliance is Ryan and Chrissy, with JP and Devin as a layer and Ashley as a sub layer. They just don't realize it yet.
They might be at the bottom of whatever alliance they pick, but they're definitely not at the bottom in this week.
Yeah. But that's the thing. I think Ben and Lauren aren't married to that alliance, so that actually kind of puts them at the top.
Yeah, and I think they could work together and jump around a little bit. Who else we got? What's the next one? We got Survivor CBS fans. Are we predicting a final 2? If not, what reason do you think Jess wasn't the first juror? I think it's still a final 3. I think that they on a season with 18, sometimes they just only do 11 people on the jury or 8 people on the jury. I mean, having in co-wrong too. So
I've been saying this for 6 months now. They would not have told us about that final tribal council tie if that wasn't going to happen. I would be flabbergasted if that didn't happen this season.
Get ready, it's not going to happen. But anyway,
flabbergasted, I tell you, flabbergasted.
Keep going.
This one doesn't count. Larry Miller. My name is just Alexa. It's not short for anything. Isaacs, do you think the wrestling match shown in the previews is related to the clue wrapped up in the nails? Probably. I'm curious where the clue is now.
Yeah, I think it's still in the nails, and I think somebody's actually going to find it. And I think it's going to be Cole. And that's going to
because Cole's the one we see. And and you see Cole just like barreling towards it.
Yeah. We got Travis Herod. Do you think Chrissy will break the mom stigma if she makes final tribal council? I don't. The way we've been hearing about her in after the game and like post-game interviews and stuff, I don't think she breaks that stigma. I think people are actually kind of annoyed with her out on the island.
Well, I guess it depends like of the viewer's stigma or the player's stigma. Because I actually think
I think he means
I think players. What do you think?
I think he means like getting no votes.
Oh, I thought he implied it more of in a like oh, people look at her and they think of the mom thing. That and like yeah, I mean, Survivor isn't all about just like your cookie cutter, like jocks or moms or whatever's. So I think that's why I'm like really enjoying Chrissy, because she is so different from anyone that we've seen. And she has proven to be like really cutthroat, and she's freaking playing this game to win, and she's playing hard. And we don't see that a lot from like, we saw that with Sarah, like she kicked butt last season, but it's really cool to see that from like a woman, because unfortunately we don't like, we don't get it as much as we do like these Joes and these Allens. So I'm really enjoying her.
Yeah, they normally play more of a social game, and it seems like she's trying to play more of an actual cutthroat game. Because like I think Denise, like she played such a social game that she didn't have to be. All right, I'm gonna jump over to YouTube.
Yeah, let's do it.
So we got Selly11395. I'm very confused to why they had a reward challenge set up in the episode, but there was no challenge. Do you think that that was to have the players think it wasn't a merge? I was sitting there very confused, expecting a 3-team challenge. Like I said, I think it was just something that was already there. And
they always do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Alex Newell is a proud Aussie myself. It's always nice to see some fellow country people on this great show. But I find it funny how Outback Steakhouse is actually a thing in the States. I've never seen or heard of one in existence here.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I would like, if like, I'm trying to imagine the other side. Like in Australia, if they open a restaurant called like Yankee Doodle and they serve just like cheeseburgers or something.
Right.
Like, probably just like, what the heck do these people think our culture is?
Right? I know. It's so funny. It's so funny.
And his bad, his like terrible Australian accent in the commercials.
It's great. Gage Laverne, I feel like Lauren and Devin are starting to become the front runners to win, even though no one would have predicted that at the beginning. What do you guys think? They're definitely moving up for sure. Lauren has a really good chance to do it.
Yeah, I think Lauren could definitely win. And Devin could too. I mean, we're getting really interesting. Like we're getting a lot from Devin. He's kind of been heating up the past few episodes. And actually, this is a good segue. So, actually, we're going to do it at the end. Spoiler alert: Devin won MVP and Joe got LVP.
Oh, I got to actually update that because I did not do that. I don't have it. Yeah. Okay, I'll write that down. Go ahead, Alexa. Read all that.
Matthew Lindsay. I'm starting to get the vibe that the winner will be one of the quote-unquote medium-sized edits, like Devin, Ashley, Lauren, or Mike. Yeah, I mean, we've been saying this from the beginning. There could be a lot of winners. I think the only people who don't win are Joe and Cole. Or not Joe and Cole, excuse me,
Desi.
JP and Cole. Or Desi. Okay, those three.
Yeah, so there's a couple, but I do think that it could turn out where one of the smaller edits is actually one of the ones that picks up a little bit. Wow, the Patriots put in Brian Hoyer. I'm just saying. Anyway.
Yep. It's been a big week for football.
Yeah, huge. What is that? Gideon Peak. Alexa's drunk guys are now a permanent headcanon in my imagining of her apartment life.
Ooh. Ugh, you probably didn't need to read that.
I don't know what that means. Should I know what that means?
No, yeah. Remember we were talking about you. I came back from the RHAP event and you talked about my drunk eyes, but it sounded like my drunk guys.
Oh, well, I didn't know what it meant. I thought it was something else. I had no idea what was going on. Anyway.
Oh man. Okay. Anyways.
Why is that? Okay.
Yeah. You want to go next?
Jeff Coaster. I'm so glad that they brought that immunity challenge from Australian Survivor to the U.S. Australian Survivor is the most amazing and innovative challenges over the last 2 seasons. Hope they bring the final 4 endurance immunity challenge from this past season to the U.S. That one was so amazing. I should probably watch it. I still haven't.
Yeah, people are really loving that second season of Australian Survivor. So if anyone has like a stream hookup, let us know.
Yeah, for sure, because we should probably do that.
Alex, I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher your last name. Alexander Hune. I don't understand how his viewer Alexa see Chrissy side as being the heroes. Ryan isn't very likable because as much as he says he has a social game, he's betrayed people in the past. Most of all, Chrissy is seen as narcissistic and a liar. If anything, the healers are really the heroes. Still upset that Jessica got voted out for last episode, but I don't like the heroes hustler alliance. I remember this conversation that Phil and I had. The difference is like as a viewer, like we don't know these people the way that the players know them. And also, I mean, they were the hero tribe. That's like why we're saying that's why we're calling them the heroes. But I don't consider them unlikable. I mean, someone was saying in the group chat, like, the thing about Chrissy, she's playing hard. And I think for whatever reason, people are having like an issue with it. Again, I don't know her. I don't know how she's playing with the other players, but I think she's playing a really hardcore strategic game. And I'm really enjoying watching it. I think the season is really good because everyone is coming out here to play and they're all playing really hard.
Yeah, it's always better when people play than when they don't.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Perry Kleiss is what?
Hot take of the night.
Yeah, exactly. What do you guys think is buried under the tribe flag? Is it an idol or some other advantage? I think it's probably an idol that they're looking for, but I'm not sure. I think it is, though. They got to get something back in play because Joe just played his, and the only one that's gone is Mike's.
Exactly, yeah. Jalen Goodwin, if Lauren wins, I would find this season disappointing.
I don't know. I have to see how the rest of it goes. I have to see how the rest of it goes.
Yeah, it's still a little too early. I think it'd be cool to see her win, just because, a lot of people really doubted her, ourselves included, coming into the season, and she has really meshed very well with pretty much everyone that she's met, except for Cole and Patrick, who everyone else has found annoying.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see here. We got Leo too. I think we actually got a lot from JP, his frustration face when he was out of the immunity challenge, just like a spoiled child not getting what he wants. However, I wish we had seen at least 5 of him reuniting with Ashley, the power couple. They kind of needed to at least, maybe they never talked, but they should have said something. That would have been fun.
Yeah, Ashley probably avoided all eye contact because she knows Chrissy would have gotten rid of her.
Exactly.
Which was probably very smart on Ashley's part, assuming that went down. Leo too, guys, why do you give all the credit to Devin and not to Chrissy? She was targeted again. She was able to survive the vote. And it was all thanks to her realization that it's the safest move to post Jessica. I mean, yeah, Chrissy absolutely still deserves the credit for it. I think Devin was the one that we saw rallying the troops, though, because Chrissy didn't have any relationship with Devin beforehand. Devin was kind of the one who snuck into there.
Yeah, and she definitely wasn't that tight with Ashley, so I think that's why. There. Gamer Girl Devin now moves from the like section to love section. I shall now call him Darling Doll Devin. He beats Patrick as the most hot player of the season. I wish he was on social media. Devin's not on social media. I didn't realize that.
No, he's not on anything.
Oh, interesting.
Which is pretty cool. I can get behind that. Wow. Boosh Bear, Rourke, Ellie, and Jessica leaving back to back to back is almost as ugly of a concept as Andrea, Michaela, Sari, and Aubrey leaving in a row. Yeah, those were 3 huge boots.
Yeah, the Rourke one was definitely smaller than the other 2, but still, it's man, there goes 3 in a row that were being 2 of them were being built up pretty big. Jeff Coaster, I think Devin's going to win this game. I've been saying it since episode 4, and this episode made me more confident than ever.
Yeah, Devin, he very well could win. Thomas Murray, there's so many unlikable players besides Desi, Mike, Joe, Ashley, and Lauren. There's no one else to root for. Chrissy, Ryan, Cole, Devin, and all the others becomes very narcissistic, which has become too common recently. I don't really agree with that entire group of.
I just think it's so interesting who they're rooting for.
Narcissistic. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. I kind of said this earlier. These people are playing really hard, and they're all playing to win. I mean, obviously, you need to think relatively not high of yourself, but you need to have the confidence to make these big moves, these game-changing moves. You need to have the confidence to play this game. And now Survivor is a show where if you're on, you're a huge fan. You're playing to win this game because you've been watching the show for 17 years. You need to play with your heart on your sleeve. You need to play so hard. And for what I've been seeing a lot, people are really not happy with how these people are acting, but I don't think they're acting poorly at all. I think they're playing to win. They're playing hard. I'm really, really happy with it. I'm really surprised with how people have been reacting.
Yeah. Got little sports guy in the preview. We saw Chrissy and Cole fighting for an idol, and others came in. Who do you think ends up with it? I think if that's the fight, I think Cole ends up with it. But
yeah, I think it depends on how, because it looks like Chrissy got there first, if I was watching it correctly. I guess it depends on how much. I feel we need an NFL ref here. Was this or was this not a catch?
Yeah, right.
Which an NFL ref will probably screw it up and give the idol to Jeff or something.
Yeah, wasn't a touchdown time. Anyway.
Thank you.
That was brutal.
Yeah, that was absolutely ridiculous.
2 hands under ball, no touchdown.
Yeah, no video evidence, but we're killing them anyways. So anyways, that's not what matters. Yeah, it depends on how much of it Chrissy has. I don't know. It depends on what the rules are. If Chrissy has it, but he yanks it out of her hand, when is it possession?
Yeah, exactly. And I guess it really is going to come down to, I guess it's really just going to come down to if Chrissy has it in her hands, then it's hers. But I don't know. Maybe they have to open it. and like prove that it's their idol. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work. Either way, one of them's got to get it and run away.
Michelle Ullman with a not too long, but I'm probably not going to read the entire comment. She said, "You guys are off on the idea that Ben is on the bottom of the 7-person alliance." Did we say that he's on the bottom of the 7-person alliance?
I think he can be, but I don't know. I think he also has a way to jump around.
I think Chrissy would hook him up too. I mean, I think like Chrissy would definitely keep him safe.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance of that. Claire Burney, do you think that Jessica was screwed? If you think about it, she played the game as well as she could have without going to tribal. She never had the chance to go to tribal to get rid of Cole, someone who was hurting her game, and she kept her numbers as best she could, but Lauren and Ben flipped because of Cole, who she couldn't get rid of because she never had the chance. The only thing she could have done is not get so close to Cole, but even then she had Cole as a number. So I think that she was extremely limited in what she could have done to save herself. I don't think she got screwed, but I think this is just the game. I mean, it happens. Nick Mariano also didn't go to tribal and did everything he could, and he was booted right at the merge, so it happens.
Yeah, I think Claire, you answered your own question with the last sentence. I think she was extremely limited what she could have done to save herself. So I agree with Phil. I don't think she was screwed. I think she was limited. And I was listening to a couple of her exit interviews, and it was really fascinating. I mean, she was so self-aware, but afterwards, she never ever thought that she was going home. And she said that she spent so much time damage controlling Cole and Joe and making sure all of her guys were in order that she didn't have time to think, wait a second, Joe's got an idol, Desi's safe, Joe's going to hook Cole up. All of a sudden, I'm the only healer who could go home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, very self-aware. She's been really great in her exit interviews.
Yeah. Hi, Jordet. The only person I can see winning this game is Ben, Ashley, Lauren, Mike, Devin, and Joe. That's a lot of people. That's still more than half the cast. Or that's more than half the cast that's left, and I think they could all win too. I also think Chrissy can win, and I think Ryan can win. I don't think you can count them out yet. So I think that there's probably 8 people left in it that can win.
Yeah, we've had plenty of like perceived villains win before. So if Chrissy and Ryan, they could be built up as villains, and they could kick some. Yeah,
the fact that we think Joe can still win means that we should think Ryan and Chrissy can still win, like for sure.
Absolutely. Log Chi Jeff has said that Alan, Allie, and Jess would be perfect for its second chances 2.0 ballot. Do you think another second chance season is looming? I would like to see another second chance season. I really like I would really like that. I just really like the concept of like voting in people who like we think are deserving of it. But I don't know. This is the first season where I've read like a ton of exit interviews each week, so I don't know how often he says that. But I think
he doesn't say it that often.
Okay, then that's extremely telling.
Yeah, I mean, they are perfect candidates for it. They really are. They're people who I think have so much potential on another season. Gamer Guy, do you think that there will be a 2-hour episode this season, excluding the finale? I don't know. I mean, I don't know when they would do it at this point.
Yeah, I'm never really good at like knowing the broadcast schedule. I know some people can interpret if there's like a medevac based on how many episodes there are. I am unfortunately not very good at that. I don't know. I hope not, because I want to get like enough face time for each player.
Well, if there's a 2-hour episode, Alexa's going to be miserable that night. Oh, yeah, and also, I did a 5 a.m. podcast in Cannes. Like, get out of here, whoever was mad at me. Like, get out of here. 3 hours in my favor. It was 5 a.m.
Yeah, and that's going to be happening for this finale, too. I'm going to be up late, and that's the way life goes.
Benji Mitchell, do you think it's possible Lauren could get a Denise kind of post-merge edit and ultimately win? I think she can win. I really do. She's definitely one of the front runners right now.
Denise. This is not Denise Martin. Yeah, we're switching our Denises here.
Yeah, no, it's Denise Stapley.
Mike Hirsch, hey Phil, when are you gonna have another org? If so, you should do it this season. I could play a good Alan or Joe. If you don't remember, I played Nick. Will we do the org again? What do you think?
Probably not, because I think Blake would kill me if he did another one. Blake was dead during all of that. Yeah, he was dead. Chris, had the Healer Alliance suggested someone like JP or Ryan, do you think Ben and Lauren vote with them?
Referenced earlier. I think they could, yeah, I think they would.
Yeah. And I like this one, Nathan Garcia. Can we dispel the rumor that Chrissy hates other women? Just because she only voted for women to go home does not mean she doesn't like them. She also voted for not Patrick. She's somebody who's also like trying to align not just with the men. It just seems like she gets along better with the men. She's aligned with Ben. She's aligned with Ryan. But like she's aligned with JP. But like Ashley never really had a chance. Like,
yeah,
so
she's also only aligned with JP kind of like, she kind of like fell backwards into it. I remember during her, like, I think it was episode 3, her big episode where she's like analyzing her entire tribe. She's like, JP doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like she's never spoken of a woman that way based on what we've seen. So
yeah, exactly. The women were more threatening on this season so far. That's probably why she's getting rid of them.
Yeah, the women have been really awesome on the season.
Yeah.
Maddie Crowley with this idle craziness. Do you think the Alliance will get rid of a small target like Desi? I think so, unfortunately, for my winner pick.
Yeah, she could definitely, but you know.
Yeah.
Ryan Chan, do you think that Mike should have played his idol to give healers better odds, or do you think he would not have played it correctly like Joe? He wouldn't have played it correctly. They wouldn't have thrown it at Jess. And there's no reason for Mike to do it because he's really not aligned with them.
Mike's not aligned with Jess?
He wasn't. Well, he liked Jess, but he's trying to keep his options open. And by doing that, if he plays that idol for like one of the healers, he's showing that he's still healer strong, and that might scare away Ben and
yeah. I mean, I think he and Jess, I think, were like wicked tight, but I think he wouldn't have played. I think no one would have guessed Jess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you refresh?
You got Boosh Bear, not Survivor related, but I'm so upset and pressed that I couldn't find Alexa at the Notre Dame game, shaking my head. My freshman year, they start being good again. Definitely not a coincidence, and you're welcome.
Oh, my God. Phil and I went to college during the golden era, which is the most mediocre era of Miami Hurricanes football. So please enjoy it while you can, Boosh Bear. Yeah. And I'm sorry I couldn't find you. I was, like, aggressively tailgating.
Yeah, well. I did. I just refreshed the page, so maybe something will come up, but I'm waiting.
Okay.
I don't know if you refreshed yours. Now the comments won't come up again. Like won't load. I can't get the comments to come up again. Wait.
Okay, I just got them. Oh, okay. This is not loading very fast.
Yeah, it's all dying.
Giovanni Oriana, I hope Lauren gets the end. That way Adam will get a lot of points in the bootless game. That's a very good segue. Let me pull up our standings. So I believe Adam has retaken the lead in the boot list. Yeah. So for the boot list, Phil has 54 points. I have 35 points. And in first place, we have Adam Klein, who has definitely never won anything in his entire life, with 15 points. He is kicking some serious butt. And number 2 is Chandler Hadley with 22. And then we have Sarah Christine, Miles Brad C, Valerie Beretta, Alex Newell at 24. So we are going to need – well, Lauren's going to blow everyone's boot list wide open, but I think Adam has Lauren last. So that would –
going to be big.
I mean, yeah, that would really hit him. And then for the prop bet, Phil has 8 points. I have 5 points. That one guy, David, is 15. Svi Tucker, who I met at the RHAP event, so I can pronounce your name correctly now, has 13 points. Prop bet is still pretty up in the air. We haven't had anything like wild yet.
Jessica was the first person voted out that got not less than 5 votes. Everybody before her had less than 5 votes now. So that's cool.
And then MVP goes to Devin. LVP goes to Joe. So I get the MVP points. Phil loses the LVP points.
Of course.
Yep. Of course, the sun rises and sets. Phil gets the LVP. And yeah. We will. So I'll be writing my MVP spotlight about Devin. Definitely not tonight. I'll be writing it tomorrow, and I'll post it on the website for you guys.
Yeah, and my I have to give like a quick shout out. These things above me now. I actually have buffs hanging on the wall. There's things on my wall for the first time, and my mom my parents were out here, and my mom was like, "No, you have to hang the buffs behind you." So she went and she hung them there because she pretty much said she's tired of watching me podcast with a blank background behind me. So we had the buffs, and she pretty much forced it, and she pretty much told me that if I didn't do this, that she would disown me. So there's my shout out to my mom.
Well, at least you're not like. Did she know that you had to do an entire podcast like kneeling?
Oh yeah, she knew I had to do the one standing, and I mean, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with my buff. I have my buff hanging on my lamp, but I want to hang it up somewhere. My room's not big enough.
Yeah. Giovanni says, I like how you guys don't want to compare Chrissy to Dawn yet. Earlier, you guys compared Joe to Russell. Well, yeah, Joe is comparable to Russell. Chrissy's not comparable.
I have never compared Joe to Russell. That has all been Phil.
Yeah, that's fine. I will say that I think they're comparable. Chrissy and Dawn don't play a similar game at all. So
yeah, the thing is, like, a lot of these comparisons that Phil and I have been seeing are strictly based on like the cookie cutter character and not like it's like alpha male or like model female or like athlete. Like that's the only comparison. It has nothing to do with like their games. It's just physical appearance. And those like they don't make any sense. That's why we've been a little confused with them.
Yeah, and then AT&T says Jeff said in an interview that there's going to be a brand new twist next week. What do you guys think it could be? I have not read into enough stuff. Clearly, I don't know.
I did not know that. Yeah, Phil and I were kind of off the grid this weekend.
Yeah.
That might I don't know. I remember during like all the Game Changers preseason, Jeff made some comment about an idol at Tribal Council, and now that's the only thing I want. Like I want that so badly.
Yeah, maybe we'll actually get that.
Yeah.
At some point, but I don't know. And then of course Ice X drops in at the end and says Tina was a mom who won. We know. We didn't forget that Tina won. It's just the mom stereotype in recent seasons has become they get to the end and they get no votes because nobody respects the game they play. That's just like I know Denise wins, but like there's certain types of most of the time Sherry and Dawn and Lisa Welch, it happens. They don't get any votes. So, that's what people are wondering. So there you go.
All right. Cool. You want to wrap it up?
I have nothing else.
Would you like me to wrap it up?
Yeah, you should wrap it up. And
okay.
Wrap it up. Go wild.
So tomorrow morning, I'm going to write my MVP spotlight of Devin. So I'll tweet that out. I'm pretty excited. I feel like I've been pretty into Devin this season, so I'm excited to really like expand on his game. So we'll be live on Wednesday with our episode 8 recap podcast. I'm going to be attending Andrea's like People TV event. It's the first one I'm going to because now instead of spending 3 hours twiddling my thumbs waiting for Phil to come home from work, I figured I should play with some Survivor people. So if anyone's going, let me know. I'd love to go. I'm really excited. So yeah, in the meantime, leave a comment on this video, tweet at us, like us on Facebook, read my article. Listen to us on iTunes, and we will be back on Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll see you then.